All right. Hello there. I think we are live. All right. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. If you're joining me live, say hello in the chat or the comments. If you're watching the replay, let me know with hashtag replay. Introduce yourself. I like to know who I'm speaking to out there. And if you don't know me, I'm Kim Feeney with Butterfly Beginnings Counseling. I am a licensed independent social worker and a registered play therapist supervisor. And I help kids and families lead healthier emotional lives so they can cope with those big, baffling emotions. And today's emotion that we are tackling is anxiety, specifically test anxiety. I've worked with countless students and parents who have faced test anxiety. And today I'm going to provide you with some strategies to help your child succeed. I know, like here in Davenport, we're getting into end of the quarter, midterm type um, exams and tests. And I know that some of my clients specifically are feeling the pressures of those exams. Um, so today we'll break down the signs of test anxiety. We'll talk about some coping skills. We'll talk about creating a positive study environment. And then, of course, tips to help your child build confidence in their test taking abilities. So, we're going to start off with what exactly is test anxiety and what might that look like? What exactly is test anxiety and what that might look like? Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. It's not just a simple case of the nerves. It's a real response, a physiological response to the stress and the pressure associated with tests. And the anxiety can manifest, of course, in a variety of ways and is different for every child that is experiencing test anxiety. Sometimes it is those physiological symptoms, headaches, stomach aches, nausea, rapid heartbeats, sweating, difficulty breathing, butterflies in the stomach, real physical reactions to the stress that their body is under. So it's not all in their head, they're real physical reactions. Other children might feel the effects of test anxiety more emotionally, excessive worry, fear, dread, panic, irritability, or a sense of hopelessness. And these feelings are just as debilitating as the physical ones. And sometimes it can be a combination. There's also behavioral symptoms. Test anxiety can influence and change the way that kids behave. They might have difficulty concentrating. You might observe restlessness, fidgeting, procrastination, or avoidance of studying in school altogether. Sometimes these are coping mechanisms that are a band aid, but end up in the long run making the anxiety worse. And test anxiety doesn't just affect emotions, it affects the body. It affects kids' ability to learn. It's it blocks that front prefrontal cortex of the brain, which is where our logic and our reasoning and our learning takes place. And again, it's hard to focus, to remember information, and to perform to full potential with anxiety. And then it's a cycle where poor test results then lead to further anxiety, which leads to, you know, poor test results and poor learning, and kids get stuck on the hamster wheel. And of course, there's an impact on just their overall well being. Um, it affects self esteem, it affects confidence, it might affect relationships. It's important to remember that it's not just about the grade on the test. Supporting your child through test anxiety supports your child's emotional, mental, and physical health, their overall well being is what we're looking at here. So, some strategies that you can use, relaxation techniques, deep breathing. I know deep breathing is always brought up, And it's always brought up because it actually works. If you can really get your child to calm down, to be mindful, and to take a deep breath, it will calm their nervous system. Try it right now. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Filling your belly with air, make sure diaphragmatic breathing, and repeat that several times. That simple technique just calms the nervous system, helps you to feel more grounded. It opens up that prefrontal cortex so we can think logically. We're not just in fight or flight. You can also add, if you want to combine things to the deep breathing, some progressive muscle relaxation. So this involves tensing and relaxing different groups in the body, different muscle groups. It's benefits your child by helping them become aware of physical tension. You start with the toes and slowly work your way up to the feet, then, the calves, the thighs, all the way up to the tippy top of your head. And there are so many free guided online exercises that you can use for this. You can also use mindfulness and guided imagery. Encourage your child to focus on the present, on the moment at hand, to reduce worry about the future. And guided imagery where they imagine themselves in a peaceful place, a peaceful scenario. It's also very calming. And again, there's many guided meditations, visualizations on apps like Calm and Headspace that are designed for kids. So lots of resources are out there for things like this. And as they're visualizing or doing progressive muscle relaxation, we want them to continue those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Some coping skills. Once the body is calm, we can start coping with these big emotions, this test anxiety. One way to do that is positive self-talk. Help your child to replace negative thoughts like, I'm going to fail, with positive affirmations. I can do this. I prepared really well. I'm trying my best. You can create a list of affirmations together and just repeat them daily. And then break tasks down. Because sometimes studying, especially if you're talking like midterm finals, a whole quarter's worth of material is overwhelming. But break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. What did you learn in, chapter 1? And what were the details in chapter 2? And then create a study schedule to help your child feel more in control. And make sure you're optimizing their study environment. Have a dedicated space, one that's quiet, well lit, free from distractions, device free from TV and phones. Yes, a lot of students nowadays need their computer, but put on do not disturb so messages and notifications don't come through. Make sure there's a comfortable chair. And again, a clutter-free desk, because sometimes clutter can cause that anxiety to build back up. If they need it, give them like noise canceling headphones. You can put on some quiet music, possibly like instrumental stuff. I wouldn't do anything with words, but some soothing instrumental stuff is really good. And then make sure you've got a study routine to make that process less stressful. Make sure materials are organized, have specific study times, and take regular breaks to avoid burnout. Make sure you've got like a drink next to them. Hydration is important. And then take breaks to just wiggle out the anxiety or to get a crunchy snack. Again, regulating that nervous system. Take a walk outside, whatever their brain needs to do. And build confidence with them. Focus on effort and improvement. Encourage the effort and the improvement, not just the final product or the final grade. Small victories, small wins, completing a study session, understanding a difficult concept, getting more flashcards right this time than you did the last. And set realistic goals for achievable goals for each session, giving them a sense of accomplishment and wins they can celebrate over time and build on that confidence. And then going back to that visualization, have them get positive visualization about the test. Have them envision themselves showing up to school that day, arriving in the class, sitting in their desk, taking some deep breaths, making sure they have their computer charged or their pencils ready or whatever materials they might need. And just visualizing it improves performance. I know Olympians, especially gymnasts, they visualize their routines over and over and over again. And it's been shown in the brain that visualizing, doing it successfully is the same like wavelengths in the brain as when they're actually physically doing the routine. So that visualization can be so strong, such an important component to this. So keep in mind, test anxiety is common and it doesn't have to control your child's life. There are support and strategies to overcome. So I hope this has been helpful for your kids that may be going into some bigger tests nowadays now in this time of year or in a few months, and anytime during study session. And make sure they know that you're going to support them, that you're there for them. And again, process over product. We're looking at improvement. We're looking at efforts. And then, of course, wherever you are in your day, make sure you're hugging your child and making it a great one. Stay tuned for next week's training on something new and fascinating and interesting. And have a great day.